And so, the end is near. No, I won't do it. I'm Tarek Patel.
I'm Randy Rosenbloom. This is SoCal Prep Report, and I like Tarek singing.
No one wants to hear me sing, although it wasn't too bad at the top. Welcome into SoCal Prep Report, our final show of the 2025-2026 prep year. Everything good always has to come to an end. Today it does. Here on this beautiful Thursday afternoon, World Cup starts today, but we want you watching this, not Mexico right now. They are up 1-0. I bring in Randy Rosenbloom. Randy, we talked about before the show. It's a little hot and muggy out there in South Carolina. How are you holding up?
I love it, though. I'm sitting outside, still beautiful. Like you said last week, the birds are chirping. I just hope the dogs hold off because my neighbor's dogs love to bark, especially when we're on the air. But I think they'll hold off knowing that we are doing a television show. So let's get to it. I know we got a busy program today.
So much to get to, and that's when we cue this graphic. We are going to do a year in review for the final show here, the 2025-26 prep year. We are going to go over everything. However, before we get to that, we are going to go over the final regional results for baseball and softball, which just ended this past weekend. You see them there. And I just want to note, Coastal Academy and Riverside Prep, you're thinking, oh, what's going on? Why no scores? Well, those are two champions in the regional finals of baseball and softball that won due to forfeit. Coastal Academy, there was a brouhaha between Verdugo Hills and Roosevelt, and none of them got to advance. So Coastal Academy didn't even have to play. Riverside Prep, there was a forfeit there. But those are your regional champions. Randy, any comments?
Huntington Beach came to play. That was nice to see. They were dominant in their three games. A little more difficulty in that final one, winning 5-3 in the regional championship game. The other thing to me noteworthy is the disappointment with the city schools getting into the scuffle in the semifinals. You mentioned it, Verdugo Hills and Roosevelt. Verdugo was about to win the game, so they would have qualified, but the scuffle incurred and neither one goes on. It's just a black eye for the city section. I feel bad because Verdugo was having a wonderful playoff run, winning a city title, team that didn't have a winning record. So I feel bad they didn't have an opportunity. But hey, you get in the scuffle, the season's over.
Unfortunate. Both teams cleared the bench. That means everyone got suspended. No game to play. Here we go. A year in review. The 2025-26 season. Of course, you got to start all the way back in the fall, and that's with football. But it didn't start exactly positive. The first story of the year hit late August, first week of September, and that was with Bishop Montgomery getting hit with all kinds of transfer violations, and there was the emergence of the money man. What is the most you've given a family?
See, it matters. If the kid's nice and he's a pro about it, I don't know, 50,000.
And would that be like on top of paying for expenses or a place to live?
Yeah, like rent and then 50,000. Yeah.
And that's
It might sound like a lot of money. It might for the average folk. It does, right? But when you win $300,000 on a bet, okay, well, that bet was free for me. I just clear it out, and that's my money for the year to pay the guys. That's it. It's no big deal.
Randy, that's pretty remarkable stuff. I want to say that is a story I broke on Fattel Factor, but you basically had a man tell us he pays for high school football families and players to play high school football. We've never heard that on the record before.
Well, I'm glad he came clean, but what bothers me as much as anything else is the fact that the parents accepted the money. I think a lot of the culpability is on the families, these parents. If someone comes to you and your son's a wide receiver and is great and he's offered $50,000 to transfer to another school, you got to see a red flag in that, don't you, Tarek? So the parents need to show respect for the game and their kid, turn down the money. And also, I would imagine some of these coaches knew what was going on, so they have to understand if you get in bed with the wrong guy, your program could go under.
Yeah, there was a lot of responsibility on everybody, a lot of blame pie to go around. That's what kicked off the 2025 fall football season, but then the good stuff came. How about one of the stories being Centennial beating Mater Dei, not once, but twice. Here's some highlights from that first victory. The end of the game, Mater Dei goes for a field goal to try and take the lead. It gets blocked. Centennial celebrates. They won the first game 43-36 in a duel, and then the second game they won 28-27.
Yeah, Modern Day had great chances in both games. I mean, they were down 28-0 in the first game of the regular season, stormed back to take the lead, only to see Centennial win it in the end. And basically, we had a repeat in the semifinals. It went back and forth. Modern Day had a chance late, missed a field goal, but they lost. Give Centennial all the credit in the world. I mean, that was a great Modern Day team, a team that ended up beating St. John Bosco. So those were two wonderful wins for Matt Logan's team. Unfortunately, they didn't win the championship as papers fly in South Carolina. But let's give credit to Logan's squad. Those were two terrific wins, winning both at home.
Yeah, let's not forget Jaden Watt-Green came back with that controversial interception that pretty much sealed the game. Moving on, how about Luke Fahey and Mission Viejo? Luke Fahey ended up throwing for 569 yards. LA 36 was on the call. Randy, you were on the call. The 569, I believe, is an Orange County record.
It is. It's a school record, obviously, for Mission Viejo. And they had to keep scoring because the finish was 76-49. And it was tight late, like 49-48 type of thing. And then they bolted and kept scoring touchdowns. Fahey ended up throwing 5 touchdowns with the 569 yards. Quick release. He was terrific, overcame an early interception in the game. And then he went on to set all those records.
Later on in the playoffs, we got a little sound here from Carson Palmer, who's coming off the field after they beat Sierra Canyon in the Division I playoffs, and he's expecting to play St. John Bosco, the juggernaut. But Orange Lutheran had different plans. Let's hear it. You're playing Orange Lutheran in the semifinals. I don't know if you know that. So instant reaction on camera. They beat St. John Bosco tonight, 20-19. Maybe your initial reaction to that, you're playing the Lancers next week.
I don't care who we play, where we play, when we play, what the conditions are, we'll be ready.
So Orange Lutheran ends up stunning St. John Bosco 20-19. There was a big pick six there that gave Orange Lutheran the lead, and they ended up able to maintain it. Remember, let's not forget, a lot of weather that night, Randy. What do you remember about it?
I remember a lot of mistakes by St. John Bosco that we normally don't see. Their kicking game was not good. The interception late, as we can see, was brought back for a pick six. And once the pick six occurred, you had the feeling Olu could win the game. And again, St. John Bosco, even though they're highly ranked nationally, is a very young football team. And we're seeing that in the NBA playoffs with the Spurs, a young team relinquishing leads, making mistakes. As great as Bosco is, they're young. Also, give Olu a lot of credit for playing a terrific game and beating a strong opponent.
So then Santa Margaret goes on to win the CIF Southern Section Open Division Championship, and this was probably one of the most memorable championship performances in the Rose Bowl in a high school football game, and I know there's been a lot of games there, but this has got to be up there. 10 receptions, 282 yards, 4 touchdowns. Santa Margarita goes on to win 42-7, and I'm telling you, it's like Centennial couldn't guard one guy.
Yeah, those numbers were for Trent Mosley, who's going to USC. He had touchdowns of 90 and 81 yards in the championship game. He's just elusive, has a tremendous burst. The Trojans have a really good one. He was just a dominant high school football player.
And there he is with the trophy, the plaque. They raised the Southern Section Championship in the Rose Bowl, and then, of course, they go on to win the state championship. They rout De La Salle 47-13. There was a slight chance maybe De La Salle could give them a game. There was a lot of history in that game. You know, De La Salle's the juggernaut from the north, but too much Eagles in that one, Randy.
Way too much Eagles. And again, Mosley and company are very strong. And that was a team that was just peaking in Santa Margarita. They were great mid-season, but not to the point where when they got to the end of the season. They really came on and became one of the great teams in many, many years. You can put them up against Bosco and modern day's great teams, and they could stand in there and play with them. And when De La Salle ran into them, they just ran into a football team that was just clobbering people, and Santa Margarita finished the deal with the state title.
That was the end of football. We move on to hoops. Get ready for the sip of water out of a fire hydrant. You know I like that saying. But first, again, the basketball season didn't start all positive. Not to say that this is negative, but the first news item of the basketball season this past year was Tyron Stokes, the #1 player in the country, moving on to Rainier Beach. He left Notre Dame Sherman Oaks. You're talking about a lottery pick, Randy. So for him to leave early in the year, remember, let's not forget, as a junior, led Notre Dame to the Open Division final and the regional final. They were one win away from being champions last year. Everyone thought he'd be great as a senior, and it wasn't for Notre Dame. He was great, but for Rainier Beach.
6'7", 230 pounds, wingspan of a 7-footer. He just plays downhill. In the open court, high school kids cannot deal with him. I'm not sure how many college players will be able to get in front of him because he's just going to mow you down. He's got a nice shot, very high percentage, but he gets to the cup. And in the open court, he is tremendous. Mr. Downhill, he's a great player, and I think he will eventually make the NBA.
Tyron Stokes probably garnering about a $7 million NIL deal in college at Kansas. Then I gotta give a shout out to Sharif Malogo, who I think was one of the surprises of the year. He's 7'4", and no one really knew about him. He parachuted into the high school basketball scene. I think you got a nickname for him.
I do. Sharif the Chief. It used to be Robert Parrish was the Chief, but Sharif is the Chief now. Sharif the Chief. But I will say this, he plays like Wembanyama.
Yes, he does.
He's tall, he can hit outside shots, block shots, obviously, and just controls games. Another guy with a tremendous upside.
Then the next one, California's all-time state leader in basketball points, and that's Jason Crow Jr. Averaged 44 points per game as a senior. He'd been doing 35 plus, around 40 since he was a freshman. And he did it for the first 2 years at Linwood, and then the last 2 at Inglewood. Your thoughts on Jason Crow Jr. being the all-time leading scorer in California history?
Well, Missouri's got a scoring machine. That's where he's going to go and play college ball. He played for his dad, which gave him the green light all the time. But still, he's a great, great performer. He can score, and he was scoring against some of the best teams in the Southern section. And he did it for 4 consecutive years. We were on the Jason Crow watch for a long time. He broke all the records. He's the all-time leading scorer in California history. That says it all.
Got to give a shout out to Olivia El-Sokari, and this is why. 25 steals in a game, and trust me, when this story came out, people were skeptical. I went back and got the huddle video from the coach, Joshua Budd. Shout out to Joshua Budd for getting me the footage. And I went through every single clip. It is 25 legit steals. Forced turnovers from El-Sokari, a national record.
It is a national record, and it broke a record that stood for over 30 years. Some young lady in North Carolina had the record for all these years. And most people don't get 25 steals in a season.
Correct.
And to get it in one game, and she did a great job of coming from behind and stealing the ball. She plays for Westlake High School. She did this against Santa Barbara High, and the Santa Barbara guards had no way to deal with her. She was just too good, too quick, and she says, I love playing defense, and she proved it that night.
A really good flag football player, too, led her team in interceptions. Sierra Canyon will be the theme here for the next minute or so. The boys win it all. They win what I call the California treble. They win the Open, the regional, and the state. Here are some highlights led by 2 McDonald's All-Americans in Maxie Adams, who you just see right there, and in the highlight before was Brandon McCoy. Maxie Adams going to North Carolina, McCoy going to Michigan, and this is Brandon Martinson. A really, really good team, super impressive. They go through the whole year with 1 loss, and it came to an out-of-state team in D.C.
That's what you have to love about this basketball team. They were super consistent. Andre Chevalier did a tremendous job. Obviously, the Sierra Canyon program is renowned, so they always have that flag on the back that everyone's after them, and being number 1 all year, everyone was pointing to them. But they were just too good. You just mentioned their 3 stars. That's a 3-legged monster there, and they're just tremendous talent that came together. Sometimes it's difficult to get great players to play together. That Sierra Canyon team came together, did a tremendous job, and controlled each and every game, except for the one game when they were out of state and they had to fly 1,000,000 miles. If that was on even turf, they would have won. I think they would have been undefeated if they played that other team on a neutral court where they didn't have to travel across America.
The Sierra Canyon girls won the Open Division by stunning Ontario Christian, who was the #1 team in the country at the time. And before I get your comment, just Ontario Christian ended up getting some redemption and going on to win the CIF State Open Division Championship. So that kind of wraps up the girls in the Southern section. My last ad, and then I'll get a comment on a couple of these things, and then we'll move on. The city section, Palisades, what a story that was. The fires, right, made everyone get off campus and out of that community for a year. They come back to campus. The boys win the city Open Division Championship, and then the girls of Westchester win the girls basketball city Open Division Championship. I know I threw a lot at you there, Randy. Your thoughts on maybe a little Sierra Canyon girls or the Palisades boys?
Well, on the Palisades boys, they were by far and away the best team in the LA City section all season long, and it was nice to see them control the playoffs. They played a grueling schedule earlier in the year against Southern section games, so they toughened themselves up. As for the girls, when you were talking about the Southern section, Jersey Robinson's performance in the CIF championship game against Ontario Christian is legendary. 32 points, 12 rebounds, and willed her team to a 69-62 victory. That was an upset, and it's the first time and the only time that you had in the same year one school win both the boys and the girls in hoops. Great accomplishment for both the girls and the guys at Sierra Canyon.
Randy, I got to ask, you've seen a lot of basketball players in your time. I don't know, did you get to see Sierra Canyon in person this year, real quick? I know you got to watch them on TV.
No, I just watched them on television. I saw a film and I watched them on television.
See, Adams, I mean, I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but maybe one of the better duos we've seen in the last 20 years. They only lost one time all year and won everything.
Well, they're a great duo. I mean, you mentioned it before, the McDonald's All-Americans. McCoy's tremendous. Adams is tremendous. They're high D1 guys, both with pro potential. So when you build around that, it's not like the other guys at Sierra Canyon were bad. They had really good high school players surrounding these two stars. And Martinson is a very good player as well. That's a tremendous group of athletes. And again, I give Chevalier all the credit in the world. Hey, they win all the tips. They win the CIF Southern section and the state. To answer your question, where they rate as a duo, I don't know. But they're really, really good.
Randy, there's no way on God's green earth we were going to let you get out of here unscathed, my friend. We have a special video for you because it's your last SoCal Prep Report show.
To go right now. Let's see if I can do it. I've always been a choke when it came to basketball, so let's see. I know most of the people that have been on the show have been able to score, so it's be a short shot. In my best play-by-play, it's up and off the iron, so I missed again, but the rebound is good.
He'll return it from his 34 to the 50. The electrifying die is on his way. Touchdown, Cougars! December 10th, 1994. The Lancers of Bishop Amat appear destined for glory as they roar down the sideline toward their dream. That dream, a CIF championship. But on that fateful night, it was the Monarchs who were bigger, stronger, faster. It would be Modern Day who would point toward the heavens in celebration. The celebration of champions. In 1975, the Cubs of Loyola savored the crowning achievement of being named champions of the CIF and the nation. In the next 20 years, Loyola would return to the championship game only twice, winning in 1990, losing to Bishop Amat in 92. Tonight, the Cubs of Loyola and the Lancers of Bishop Amat will take the field to see who will climb the mountain and wear the crown of champion. Russell with the deep drop. To Ralph Brown has a first down and a lot more. To the 30, at the 20, to the 10. Put it on the board. 6 for the Lancers.
Hey, Randy. Just wanted to thank you for everything that you did for the basketball community, for your professionalism, for all the great interviews, for all the fun, for all the laughs. It was a good time. It was a good run. We're going to miss you here. I know Eric's going to miss you. And I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the things that you did.
I think of two things. One, community. It's a community school. All the kids are there. There's not transfers. It's your kids. And the other thing, tough non-league schedule. So first and foremost, talk about the fact that it is a community school, and then maybe lead us into your schedule this year.
Yeah, our school is a community school. It's very underrated. Our school, as an academic school, as a place to go to school, it's safe, it's friendly, it's home. You know, it's home to me. I grew up in Venice. I've come back to be the coach there, and so much of my life, my daughter, you know, my wife, we've all gone to Venice and graduated, and it's definitely community-oriented. We have great support from the community. Our games are well attended. Our homecoming's pretty special every year, and so it's really been special for me to come back, and my life sort of goes full circle by being the coach at Venice.
Gonna miss you, Randy, my broadcast partner. Great working with you. Great being friends with you, and I'm proud to say our friendship goes 53 years deep to a Thanksgiving weekend in November of 1973. I wish you the best on all of your travels. You have no idea what you mean to high school sports, Southern California sports, and broadcast journalism. You're a legend. Wishing you the best.
The Jackie Robinson Stadium. We're at Dorsey tonight for the Dorsey Dons from the Coliseum League against the Fairfax Lions from the Western League. Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Rosenbloom, set to call the play-by-play along with Dave Marcus. Last year, these teams actually met twice. Once during the regular season, Dorsey won that. They played again in the second round of the city tournament, and Dorsey won again. So, Dave Marcus, is there revenge here tonight for the Fairfax Lions?
What's happening, Hall of Famer? I hope you're doing well back in South Carolina. Hey, I just wanted to say thank you for everything you did for me throughout the years. It's been an honor being a colleague of yours in the media industry. We've had some great times together at the championship events, different playoffs, just talking sports in general, and of course, our walks and enjoyment at Joe's Place, memorable times together. But just want to wish you nothing but the best in retirement. I'm sure you'll find a way onto the Clemson broadcast or the Furman broadcast at some point. But enjoy your time back there on the East Coast, and please stay in touch. God bless, Randy.
We're at Venice High School for the Small Schools Boys Volleyball Championship for 2011. Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Rosenbloom, set to call the play-by-play. It's the top-ranked teams that are here. Number 1, Northridge Academy, the Pumas, coached by Ozzie Bidet, against number 2, Elizabeth Learning Center, coached by Elias Gomez. Two historically powerful programs at the small schools.
Randy, congratulations on a great career. Can't believe it's been 55 years. I remember way back in the day when I was at Birmingham and you were doing all those LA 36 games. We had some great times with that. You had always great questions, did an unbelievable job of covering those kids that ordinarily wouldn't get a lot of chance to be in the limelight. Watching the Olympics one day, this is years ago, and I'm distracted. I'm working on the computer, and I hear a voice. I go, that sounds just like Randy Rosenbloom. And I looked at the camera, and there was the hair, and I went, I can't believe it. It's Randy. Yeah, you've really been around. Amazing career. I still enjoy watching you and Eric on the podcast. Enjoy South Carolina, but thanks for all the work you've done for kids here.
A return engagement for Garrett Anderson. We all know he was great with the Angels, but it was the good old days at Kennedy High School that we appreciate so much, and so does the LA Unified School District. Garrett Anderson into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I guess you got to be thrilled to go into another Hall of Fame. This can't get old at any time, can it?
No, it doesn't get old. It's really a humbling thing when somebody takes the time and do the research on you and put you in a place of where they basically praise you for what you did. I struggle with that at times, but I'm very appreciative of it.
We have Rio Ruiz with us. He was a great quarterback in football. He played third base and some shortstop when he was also in La Puente for Bishop Amat. And now we got him here at the Fan Fest. Rio, I see you're with a Houston Astros jacket on. Things are good for you since the days at Bishop Amat. Just a couple of years, things have changed, huh?
I know great things have happened for me and for my family. Everything's happened for the better. I'm couldn't be more thankful for everything that's going on in my life right now. I'm just taking full advantage of it.
It's the quarterfinals of the city section on LA 36. Great football for you. It should be entertaining as we're in the South Bay at Gene Volnagel Stadium on the campus of Carson High School. It's the Banning Pilots against the Carson Colts. The Colts are the number 2 seed. Two outstanding football clubs, no strangers to one another, coming out of the Marine League. Carson is the Marine League champion. Banning finished third. They each have a playoff victory. Both teams with identical 9-2 records.
Hello, everybody. My name is Randy Rosenbloom, set to call the play-by-play. Last year, the East won easily, 123-100, in the highest scoring game in the history of the Battle of the Valley.
Struggled in the first inning. First and third, nobody out, but he got out of it. And after that, the defense helped out, and he fashions a brilliant 5-hitter.
Yeah, I was super, I don't know. I thought for him he had to get comfortable. So in the first inning, it looked like he couldn't find his nerves, and we had a guy get loose in the bullpen. I think him seeing that realized it was just a reminder for him, get loose, fill it, and fortunately he stayed in the game. I didn't think he'd have a complete game. There's no way.
You're paying the cleaning bill on my suit, I think, right?
I'm sorry.
That's Gatorade. I can taste the Gatorade.
Randy, listen, it's my turn to tell you thank you. You know, I've got a little gig over at CBS LA, and you're the one that got me started on this KDOC package on the LA 36 show. So I owe a lot of credit to you when it comes to my broadcasting career. Not only have you shed light to high school athletes, but you have passed on your knowledge and your confidence to a young aspiring broadcaster like myself, man. I want you to know that. So thank you so much for all you've done. I hope you enjoyed that video. We got a little time. What did you think?
I thought it was awesome. It's a little bittersweet knowing that Angelo Gasca and Garrett Anderson have passed away. And when I, see those interviews, I remember interviewing Garrett, but I remember interviewing him at Kennedy High School. I obviously interviewed him another time at the Hall of Fame there. So that's tough. But thank you to everyone at LA 36, certainly, for the great years and the great tribute. I'm flabbergasted and emotional about it. It was really great. Tarek, whatever I can do to help you out in the future, I will. I'm stunned at all those clips that you guys put together. Sorry making you work that hard. That was a long tribute. That's a lot of tape you had to put together.
Yeah, no worries. There's a lot more tape where that came from. I think you know that. But, I want to say we did have a couple of thank yous from that. Was there someone in particular that you were maybe more surprised that we got a hold of maybe? I was always curious who you'd react to the best there.
Well, I react beautifully to all of them, but probably Ed Croson. I mean, Ed was a great guy, tremendous coach, had, I think, 4 or 5 city championships at Birmingham before he went on to Chaminade and won titles there as well. He would let me stand on the sideline and he would just chat it up with me right in the middle of the game. That's how comfortably we were together on the sideline. But getting Croson was really good. Of course, all of them were great tributes. Chuck Price, Dick Dornan. I love all the guys, but the Croson one really surprised me, I got to tell you.
My last question for you. You look back on your 55-year career. What are you most proud of?
Being in the business for 55 years and having the relationships all those years, and obviously the Olympic accomplishments, doing 3 Olympics on NBC Sports, Wimbledon, and doing the softball national championship game twice for ESPN, and having a walk-off homer in the 90s. It was 1992 when UCLA walked off Arizona. Arizona got them the next year in the revenge game. So I did both of those games. Those are some of the things that highlight the career, but there's so many to be thankful for. And like I told my friends in Fresno, they did a similar type of interview with me. It's been awesome.
I lied. I do have one more. I know you're proud of those things. Maybe a standout high school moment, this being a high school show. Is there anything in particular, or you can reel off a few that you felt like were monumentous moments at the high school level?
Well, one of them, as we stated, was that Luke Fahey game where they scored the 76 points and outscored Los Alamitos 49, 76-49. We're just in the booth in disbelief how it was going back and forth with me and Chuck. The other one was many years ago. I did a Garfield-Roosevelt game that went into overtime, and Garfield won the game. It was probably 20 years ago. It was maybe the best high school football game I've been at, other than the city championship game in 2008, which was the last tie game. San Pedro scored on the last play of the regulation, kicked the PAT, tied Narbonne for co-championship of the LA City section. That probably stands out as any game I've ever done in terms of city football.
Randy, it's been a great career, another great year at SoCal Prep Report. I hope you enjoyed that little montage. We love you, man. We're so excited for your retirement. We know we'll be in touch. It's not goodbye forever or anything like that. But in this medium, I think for now, I think it's come to a great rest. But that is the end of the prep year for SoCal Prep Report. Randy, I'll give you 10 more seconds for any final thoughts.
Thank you, Tarek Fatal. Thank you, all the people at LA36, Carla Carlini, Larry Zavala, and the rest. It was a great run.
That does it for us. Tune in next fall for SoCal Prep Report. Have a good one. Enjoy the World Cup.
Goal!